Hello, my name's Galahad, and today I will be reviewing the GTRacing Ace M1 gaming chair. The Ace lineup is their premium line that comes with a lot of great features at a very competitive price compared to the competition, costing between $189 and $369 depending on sales. We will be going over how easy it is to assemble, the features, how well those features work, how comfortable it is, and then finish with the conclusion. Timestamps are down in the description. As a disclaimer, they did send me this chair for free in exchange for this here review. They are seeing this review at the same exact time as you and had absolutely zero influence on it. If you use the link down below to purchase, I do get a small commission. If you use code Galahad at checkout, you'll get $15 off, which is a win-win for everyone. But feel free to use another link if you'd like, and I'd also recommend looking at multiple places to ensure that you get the best price if you decide to purchase. So let's get nerdy. Starting off with the setup, it comes in a large box with everything you need to assemble the chair, which includes the parts, screws, and tools. Everything is covered in plastic and or packing, which is nice for keeping everything clean and unscuffed, and not so nice for the environment. There is a strong smell of PU material when you first open it up, which goes away after a day. Everything is pre-drilled, making assembly easy. More expensive chairs come more assembled with better tools and covers that may be magnetic. The really expensive chairs come fully, but you pay a lot more for that, and I would prefer to save money by doing some self-assembly. The instructions are placed with the backrest, so don't panic if you don't see them immediately. They are simple and straightforward with little pictures, which was super great for me because I don't know how to read. You start off by attaching the metal arms to the seat cushion and backrest. They take a total of 2 screws on each side. Everything lines up easily, and this took no time at all. Then you attach the plastic sidings with a single small screw on each side. This gave me some troubles because I suck at threading the needle. After I was done, I noticed there is a hole on the joint arms that this cover clicks into, allowing you to line it up easier. Who would have figured? The next part is applying the swivel/tilt mechanisms. I have no idea what the official term is for that piece. Maybe I nailed it, maybe I don't. We'll never know. This requires 4 screws, and it took no time at all. Just make sure you have the front facing the front, which is clearly labeled on the seat cushion and tilt mechanisms, kind of like a claymore. Next, you apply the 4D armrests. This took me some time as well because, well, I'm dumb. Each armrest requires 4 screws, but there are 2 different sizes. So when installing the ones, you want the 2 long screws to go on the very outside of each side, and then the 2 short screws to go on the inside, using the brain. You then take the aluminum wheel base and attach the 5 high-quality caster wheels, place the class 4 hydraulics to this base, and then the rest of the chair to that, and you are finito, finished, done. If you'd like, you can attach the optional headrest and lumbar support. I took my sweet time, and it took about 30 to 40 minutes. Moving on to the build quality, the entire chair is covered in polyurethane, also known as PU. If you want the full rundown of what that is, you can check the description. Under the PU is a cold cured foam. It supports antioxidation, deformation, wear resistance, elastic resistance, and is skin friendly and breathable. The breathability part comes from the front of the chair where they allow air to escape, which you can feel when you sit down if you are paying attention, but otherwise isn't breathable at all, which may make some individuals get hot and kind of depends on your climate. It does have a plastic smell at first that goes away after a few days. It is also water resistant, does well against scuffs, and comes in a variety of colors. This chair supports black, which is my current model, white, ash, and beige. The beige colorway is fabric over PU, which some users may prefer, especially if you want more breathability. However, it can stain easier, and there's some other issues with it that you need to think about. The PU is soft, feels good, and the stitching on the entire chair is good. It should hold up well over time. I don't have any issues with this part. On the right side, you have a lever for the 90 to 160 degree recline. This is the portion that I have the biggest complaint on, as it feels super cheap. It requires light force to lift, feels thin, and like it's going to snap in half. It probably won't break since it is made out of metal, but I'm not fully convinced. When near 90 degrees, which is one of the arguably one of the most popular positions, it won't automatically lock into place. At first, it was only occasional, but over time, this has gotten worse. And now every time I have to try to force it, and now even the forcing is getting a little bit difficult. I'm sure that this is due to probably a defect of mine, and I just haven't reached out to them to send me a replacement part, but I feel like it's not fully needed also. So I don't know. That's probably my problem, but something to look out for if you do order the chair. With other recline positions, this is improved and works like it should pretty much all of the time, but still feels a little bit cheap. Thankfully, once locked into place, there is no rattle. The chair and seat base don't line up correctly, and when reclining, you can hear it rubbing together. Honestly, I'm super disappointed with this entire thing because I wanted it to be better, like my other chair. You also have a seat height lever on the right side, which can lower the chair to about 19 inches or raise it to 22 inches. This class 4 hydraulic lift supports up to 350 pounds. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. 350 pounds, which is like dramatically more than most other chairs in this price bracket and of this size. I'd argue if you are that large of a guy or gal, that this chair will be really uncomfortable as the width of the seat is quite small and has very aggressive sidings and is better for those who are of a thin or medium build like myself. But the rest of the chair is built for you as the arms and backrests are wide. The lever itself is solid with nearly no wobble. It adjusts smoothly and clicks into place easily. I do like this portion a lot. On the left-hand side, you have the tilt button. This guy has a lot of tilt. Seriously, it's awesome, super awesome, and probably to the point that when you do try it for the first time, you'll flail around thinking that you're about to eat it, but you won't eat it because it's actually really, really sturdy, even when fully reclined, which is something that I really like. You can adjust how easy or hard it is to tilt. The knob on the very bottom of the chair is where you have access to it. However, you have to get out of the chair or really bend over to get it. So depending on how flexible you are, you might be able to get it yourself. Let's see if I can reach it. Nope, too short. My arms aren't long enough. You can't tell when you've reached max/minimum unless if I didn't twist it for long enough, but I felt like I was down there for a really long time trying to twist it. So I don't know. You can tilt lock in whatever position you choose, which is pretty neat. There will be an ever so slight amount of wobble, but that's just me being picky. Next are the 4D armrests. As indicative of their name, they can move side to side, front to back, inward, outward, and up and down. I highly dislike them, as they pretty much do absolutely nothing right. First, no matter which direction you move them, outside, from up or down, it takes a lot of force and is very jerky. Second, they only move a small amount, which limits the ability to get them in the ideal spot, which is further exacerbated by the third point of them starting off way too high, too wide, and too far forward, which makes them run into desks quickly and limits you getting them in the ideal spot. For example, case in point, I'm at the very bottom of this bad boy, and it is equal with my desk. It's not a good place for it to be. That's why you have the lift to adjust to the desk or to go underneath the desk, and it doesn't do that. I feel like my tables aren't that abnormal. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't have other tables to compare it to. So overall, this leads to being in the incorrect position while working. They may have also been going for that to line up directly with the desk right off the bat, in which case they nailed it, but see aforementioned comment. But I find that I prefer that to slide under the table, and with where they're at, and with where they are at, that is impossible without lowering the chair, which then gives me poor ergonomics. Wow, that was a really long point. Fourth, they don't feel high quality and are very hard, making them uncomfortable and feel like you're replacing your arms on a table. Fifth, they are made out of plastic, and on my previous chair, that broke with less moving parts, so it makes me a little bit concerned about the overall longevity, especially because these things are freaking loud. 6, with them being naturally too far forward and being 4D, if you go to switch positions, such as when going cross-legged and lift yourself up, the arms will swing outward, making it so you eat it. 7th, 3 out of the 4 movement settings are practically pointless, as the side-to-side and front-to-back movement is minimal at best. Like, seriously, it doesn't move at all. The inward/outward motion isn't helpful since it comes in the middle, making things either further or not at the right angle. There are 2 positives. First, if you're sitting cross-legged, as you can see, they don't get in the way, but just barely. And second, you can remove them if you'd like. The aluminum base feels and looks high quality, is thin and flat, which makes it comfortable if you rest your feet on them. With it being kind of far back, I have a hard time actually reaching them with my feet, which I actually see as a pro, as they are never in the way, while still being incredibly stable. You get 5 high quality caster wheels on my carpet. They roll relatively well, but I don't have any hardwood flooring to test that on, and my carpet itself is kind of thin but slightly thick. It's not like thin, but it's not like moderately thick either. It's like somewhere in between. I don't really know how to explain that. It's pretty much your average carpet. Thicker carpet. Yeah, I don't think I explained that well. Anyways, moving on, I have no complaints with the wheels here. I feel like they're pretty much average. I don't think that they're great. I don't think that they're bad. Overall, I think the build quality is good. I like the stitching a lot and think it will hold up well over time. I didn't notice any significant defects and had 0 fraying. When seated, the chair feels solid no matter which position you are in, but there's something about it that makes it not quite as solid as my previous chair, and I think this is due to a very slight amount of wobble, which is nearly unnoticeable except when comparing to another chair or looking for it directly. The levers themselves are solid except for the recline lever. The back of the chair doesn't line up perfectly, which appears to be relatively normal for most gaming chairs, but that doesn't make it okay, just a little bit more normal. The armrests, while being solid, absolutely suck. I hate them. Just kidding. Hate's a strong word. I try not to use that word. I don't hate them. I just highly dislike them. Last, there's some generalized squeaking, especially during the recline process. All of that, for this price, is to be expected, but not appreciated. In the end, I am very pleased with the overall build quality of this chair with very few complaints. Of those complaints, I don't see any of them being major since I don't have anywhere else to put this. The chair also weighs 58 pounds. That was super random. Which brings us to the most important part, comfort. I have been using this chair as my only chair for the past 2.5 weeks for literally everything because I don't own any other chairs. As mentioned previously, they use cold cured foam for the seat base and backrest. It is moderately thick and moderately soft, meaning you have a moderate amount of padding to start off with, which is good as that gives you room to work with as it breaks down over time. Second, that padding is moderately soft, meaning that when you first sit down, the cushion gives a moderate amount, which helps with immediate comfort, but is still hard enough to give good support over time while also preventing it from bottoming out or breaking down over the chair's lifespan. The seat base itself is narrow, so if you are a wider fellow, then I'd avoid and go with one that has a wider base. Also, those who don't like to be squeezed may want to avoid, as those sides come up rather violently. I can sit cross-legged, as you can see, but one of my feet pushes against the side of that violent protruding thing, which I actually like a lot, as it gives me some support that I can push my foot on and leads to increased comfort, which was quite surprising to me. I actually like that portion of the chair a lot, which was something that I thought at first I was really not going to like, but the base is actually still pretty wide that I don't actually run into that like really on a normal basis unless if I'm sitting kind of wide-legged. Anyways, last, the overall depth of the seat is pretty good for me at 5'10". I don't want any short joke, guys, okay? I pray to God that I would hit 6 foot, and he straight up denied me. He didn't even give me 5'11", which I find to be respectable. Instead, he was like, nah, dude, you're going to be 5'10". And makes me sad to this day. Seriously, I just wanted 6 foot, man. I just wanted 6 foot, at least 5'11", and just... Nah, man, nah. Anyways, I think they did a good job on this part of the chair. I find it to be more comfortable over my AK racing chair, especially the backrest, but it's not as well built. Also, the chair, when you don't have the backrest, is obviously going to give you a lot more depth than when you do have this. And I want to say when you're actually using this, the depth of the chair is kind of short. So, but not like super short where it's pretty good. Depth of chair, I think, is pretty good. Speaking of the backrest, it is quite wide, which I like because I have plenty of room for my shoulders and it doesn't grab me like my previous chair did. Because, get this, as shocking as this is, I don't come across any G-force when gaming, so I don't need it to hold me in place. Mind blown, I know, right? Maybe I'm just not trying hard enough and that's why I lose games. I need to incorporate G-forces into my gaming and I'll just... win all the time. The For this next part, I rolled my eyes when I read the marketing, as it's a little bit weird. It states that, and I quote, adapted perfectly to support and fit the back, despite not having any built-in lumbar support or visible unique design, which makes me think this is far-fetched, but the back is actually super comfortable and hits in all the right places, especially when using the head pillow, so maybe I'm the one full of crap and that marketing is right on the money. I don't know, and I'm unsure of what to think about this. Genuinely, I don't know. I'd say I'd let you decide, but then you'd have to buy the chair and try it out, and that's probably not going to happen. But if you do happen to buy this chair, I would love to hear your opinion on what you think about this here backrest, if it hits you in all the right places as well, or if I'm just full of crap. I don't know. There is enough padding there to be very comfortable without feeling the metal frame design, which was something that I could feel with my AK Racing chair. So on a regular basis, I could feel it, and so I really like that, am a big fan of that. Next is the optional headrest and lumbar cushion, which they boast are made from premium memory foam. It doesn't hold its shape at all, so I don't actually know if it's memory foam or not, as I thought memory foam held its shape for a short period, hence the memory part of it, but maybe I'm just wrong about that and it refers to how soft something is. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comment section. Again, because I'm obviously a moron. I will say the headrest has a thick amount of padding, but it is super soft, giving way easily, which gives excellent comfort. The elastic band has mild resistance, which makes it easy to place and take off. Additionally, due to the design of the chair, this headrest comes down to the ideal spot on my head/neck when leaning and sitting into it, leading to excellent comfort. I'm a big fan, like big fan of it. The backrest is a different matter though. A lot of other lumbar pillows fail because they are far too thick. This one is a lot thinner than most, but is still quite thick. It has a unique design where it is thinner on the top and then thicker as it nears the bottom. Overall, even the thickest part of this is thinner than most other backrests, so they almost nailed it, but it is almost as hard as the seat cushion instead of being closer to the headrest. Maybe it is the same material and I'm just full of crap, but I don't think it is. That's probably a good thing with it being closer to the cushion though, as that gives a lot better support, but I would have preferred it being the same padding as the headrest. Anyways, it also doesn't physically attach to the chair, which can be a good or a bad thing. I actually rate this as more of a pro than a con, as you can easily remove it or put it down or wherever you need it, compared to when it's actually attached to the chair. It's a lot more jerky and just not as easy to put it in place. But the con would be that anytime, like if you were to lean forward, the backrest moves, so then you have to readjust it. Hopefully my mic still picked me up because I was going a little past it. I apologize for that. I got a little in the moment, man. It would be nice if they used a magnetic design or Velcro or something other than straps to keep it in place. When I had it on, it was quite comfortable and supportive, but most of the time I did actually end up to just leave it off. Despite that, it is the absolute best lumbar pillow I have tried to date. So let's talk real world usage. I use this to game when working on my PC and to digest entertainment in the form of that TV that you see behind me, on my tablet, on my phone, or when reading a book. I know, I do still actually read, even though I said that I didn't know how to read at the beginning of this review. Maybe I was lying. Maybe I'm lying about reading books. Who knows? You don't, but I do. When working on my PC, I like to have good ergonomic form. As mentioned before, the armrests ruin this for me. I hate you. As I like to get up and close and personal with my desk and have it squeeze me. And then I put both my hands on the table for support, but I like to try to be at the 90 degrees, you know, for the ergonomics, the 90 everywhere. And that makes it impossible with these stupid arms as they are far too high. So I have to then lower the chair to get underneath the desk, which then puts my arms at not 90-degree angles. Anyways, and then if you look at the fully extended one, it doesn't really move that far, but if you look at it fully extended, it's like, who in their right mind would find that to be comfortable? I don't think anybody's like, yes, this is nice. So I don't know. I'm complaining far too much about the armrest. However, with all of that said, it would still keep me very comfortable throughout my entire gaming/work sessions, whether I was sitting with both feet on the floor, one foot on the floor, or cross-legged. I also noticed minimal movement, and when I was relaxed, it was nice to recline back and have some tilt. When I was watching TV, this is where this guy really shined for me, as I was able to recline it back, and then I activated tilt, and then I would throw my legs up on the ottoman and lay out my head on this super comfortable comfortable pillow and just chill. Seriously, the recline feature is absolute fire and what adds the most amount of comfort. I don't know what I was doing with my hand there, but there you go. This was also great for console games when played on my TV, as you can get in really comfortable positions, and it's with the armrest being so wide apart, you can fit in between there without much issue. But if you're trying to rest them on there, then it's not very comfortable because you're like, what am I like flexing? Like, am I showing off my traps? Like, it's weird. It's weird. The armrests are weird. The other thing that I didn't like about the armrest is if I'm trying to like reach down and pet my dog or do something else, they just always get in the way. Man, they just always get in the way. The other thing that I ran into a lot is obviously when I'm going cross-legged, I usually push up and off the chair. However, with these guys, with them being so far forward, a lot of the times I would actually hit the back here, causing it to go out, which then would cause me to kind of eat it. So I have to be careful with where I put my weight before I do that. Not a big deal, but just something that I figured I would mention. But with all of that said, I do like to have the armrests on for just that extra support when I need it, which is why I didn't remove them. Even when I was on full recline and had the tilt at full tilt, the chair never once fell over for me or even got close to falling over. And I flailed my arms many a times thinking I was about to tip over, and I was solid, man. I was solid. It was just something that I felt in my brain that was incorrect. I didn't really push this, but I wasn't careful about it either, so I think it's super sturdy. If you do end up making a tumble, then congratulations. I feel like you really tried for that one. Overall, I think the amount of padding and customizability, which means like the tilt, the recline, etc., is excellent for this chair, causing me to easily use it for multiple different uses and not only stay comfortable, but also have good support even after being in it for a whole day. I like it better than my GTRacing SX chair, which is far more expensive. That chair is slightly better built, has better recline feature, and makes less noise, and has better arms. However, I feel like everything else about this chair, they do it better. And for the most part, a lot of this chair does those things just as well. Anyways, have I mentioned how much I dislike these arms? I'm joking. Am I joking? Joking. It comes with a 5-year warranty. If you make a public post or review of your chair. I'm undecided about this, honestly, because it's one of those, from a business perspective, it's super smart, right? Because the biggest issue with business is marketing, is trying to get yourself out there, having people know your product and test your product. So having all of your customers who buy stuff share it with their friends, theoretically, and followers is excellent for them, especially because that's free publicity. However, I also feel like that should be something that's just automatically like given for the product, because they should believe in it enough to last 5 years, because obviously they do. And I truly do think that they do believe that it'll easily last 5 years without any issues. But from a consumer point of view, it's one of those that I'm kind of like, I feel like that's a little bit shady, just because it's one of those that I'm giving somebody free marketing for a product that I paid for. So yeah, I don't really know where I come down on that. I'd be interested to hear what your guys' opinion are. Let me know down in the comment section down below if you're fine with, if you like that of sharing a picture or a post on your social media about a product to get an extended warranty, or if you think that's kind of shady. Because I'd be interested in having that conversation with you guys. A lot of other companies are also doing this, especially gaming chair companies. So it's not like this is exclusive to them. And I think it's becoming a lot more popular with other companies as well, with the emergence of social media. So it's one of those that it's not just this specific company that does that I'm just kind of on the fence for. It's literally any company that does it. With all of that said, their warranty service does seem excellent, as they report, and I quote, "GTRacing is a brand that values transparency and building good relationships with our valued customers. As a result of this, we employ no questions asked warranty policy for all customers. If for any reasons your GTRacing products are damaged, malfunctioning, or have any issues, GTRacing will take full responsibility for your product for blank years, depending on the product, after purchase of most items," which is very, very respectable, and I nod my hat for that. Also, that means that they truly do believe in their product and that their product is super good, or they wouldn't have that type of warranty, right? So I do believe that this product will last a long time. I also fully respect their warranty. And yeah, just hats off to you guys. I'm sure that you guys are watching this review since you provided me the chair, which I am very appreciative for. But yeah, a lot of respect there. So moving on to the conclusion, there is a lot to like about this chair. It comes in at a very competitive price for what you get compared to the competition, especially during sales. I've seen it anywhere from $189 to $369. Its setup takes about 30 minutes and is straightforward and easy. The overall build quality is great, but there's something that makes it not quite as solid as my GTRacing chair, and I'm not 100% sure what that is. I think it's due to just a mild amount of wobble. There is also a mild amount of squeaking / noise when moving around, especially when reclining. Neither was the case for my GTRacing chair, which is a lot more expensive, but I also like this one a lot better as it has a lot more features and does most of those features better. The comfort is excellent as the depth of the chair is good. Padding has the right amount of give and stiffness for both short and long sitting periods, with a wide back that is supposed to adapt perfectly to support and fit the back. I'll let you make up your mind on that, but it does hit mine in all the right places, leading to excellent comfort. Furthermore, you can adjust it to be 90 to 160 degrees recline, to be 19 to 22 inches off the ground, and has a great tilt design that can lock into place, which I really like. Seriously, that tilt function is amazing. The optional headrest is super comfortable and hits in the right spot. The backrest pillow has a good design, but you can attach it to the chair, which may make it irksome for some, but can also be a good thing as you can easily take it, put it on or off and adjust it. The base can hold up to 350 pounds, but if you weigh that, there is absolutely no way that you're fitting widthwise in this chair comfortably, as it is semi-narrow. The 4D armrests I want to burn in a fire and laugh manically while they melt into slag, as they aren't super comfortable, adjustable, and get in the way of desks, which ruins the ergonomics. But I don't want to spend more time beating a dead horse. In the end, I think most people will really like this chair and won't be disappointed, as it does a ton of things right and very few things wrong. The only major glares are the stupid armrests, which probably aren't as bad as I actually make them out to be, and the recliner lever not working well at 90 degrees, but that could also be a defect for only my chair, but something to look out for. Otherwise, they are minor things. If you can get this guy at less than $250, it is very much worth it. If you are paying around $300, it is a good deal. At around $330 or more, I think it is still a good product and you won't regret your purchase, but suggest looking at other chairs to see what they offer and if they do it better, or spend a bit more for a nicer chair, or perhaps ideally wait for a sale. Anyways, like, dislike, subscribe, share, or hit up my social media if you'd like. There is a commission link in the description that helps support this channel, as I earn a small percentage for every chair sold. Additionally, use code GALAHAD for $15 off, but before buying, shop around to make sure you are getting the best price. If this video gets enough attention, and by enough attention, I think perhaps views, but also sales, they said they would send out the Ace S3, which is their best chair and comparable to the Secret Labs Titan, which I personally am very excited for. So if you are interested in that video, let me know in the comment section below. I will see you and your beautiful face on the next one. God bless and peace out.